The passage of time is an invisible force that reshapes our lives when we least expect it, turning quiet rooms into echoes of what used to be and forcing us to confront the inevitable reality of moving forward. For decades, the world has watched the glittering trajectory of a woman who became a global icon, a force of nature in music, film, and fashion, standing under the brightest spotlights imaginable. Yet beneath the layers of fame, the historic performances, and the relentless media scrutiny lies a deeply human story that mirrors the universal experience of every parent watching their children grow up and prepare to leave the nest. It is a transition filled with profound pride, but also an underlying sense of quiet melancholy that comes when a major chapter of life definitively closes. As we delve into this intimate portrait of motherhood under the microscope of celebrity, we invite you to become a permanent part of our community by subscribing to the channel, ensuring you never miss these deep dives into the real lives behind the headlines. The story unfolding right now in the hills of California is not just about a superstar celebrating a milestone, but about the emotional vulnerability of a mother facing a completely empty house for the very first time. For 18 years, her existence has been anchored by two constant heartbeats, a steady foundation that remained unchanged even as marriages dissolved, careers shifted, and the world outside changed its mind 1,000 times. Now, the quiet halls of an $18 million Hidden Hills mansion are serving as the backdrop for a massive personal transformation, proving that no amount of wealth or success can shield a person from the emotional weight of watching their babies step into adulthood. The recent days have been a whirlwind of ceremonies, flowing robes, and caps thrown into the air, marking a transition that the pop icon admits she never truly prepared herself to face. For months leading up to this moment, the looming shadow of the summer of 2026 was met with tears, hesitation, and a beautiful, agonizing process of looking back at nearly 2 decades of shared memories. Writing simple yearbook messages became a monumental task that stretched over days, proving that the simplest words are often the hardest to find when they are meant to summarize a lifetime of maternal devotion. The public sees the glamour of an Instagram carousel, the radiant selfies, and the seemingly effortless joy of a proud mother, but beneath that polished surface is a complex tapestry of nostalgia and a slight, lingering anxiety about what tomorrow brings. When you have spent nearly 20 years defining yourself not just by the applause of millions, but by the quiet morning routines of a family of 3, the sudden silence of a sprawling estate can feel almost overwhelming. The world is getting a rare, unfiltered glimpse into this fragile emotional landscape, where celebratory cupcakes and oversized pastries sit side by side with bittersweet reflections on what it means to truly let go. This milestone arrives at a time when her artistic expression is also taking a darker, more introspective turn, suggesting that the changes in her home life are deeply intertwined with a broader sense of personal reinvention. New musical frequencies are echoing through the airwaves, carrying lyrics that speak of numbness, of staying inside while the sun shines bright, and of navigating a strange, uncharted emotional territory after high-profile separations. It is the classic duality of a legendary entertainer who must balance the loud demands of a global audience with the incredibly quiet, tender moments of a family milestone. The campus of UCLA recently became the stage for one of these unforgettable family gatherings, where tears flowed freely among multiple generations who assembled to witness the culmination of years of hard work. It was a scene filled with small, knowing smiles, warm embraces captured in amber, and the distinct sense that a massive boundary line was being crossed in real time. The graduation caps were decorated with symbolic phrases that hint at resilience, a stubborn refusal to let this milestone be the definitive end of the journey, signaling instead that this is merely a transition to a new arena. As the cameras flashed and the public dissected every single image shared on social media, the core of the story remained locked within that sacred bond of 3 individuals who have weathered every single storm together. Friends, partners, and public figures have entered and exited the frame over the years, but the core unit has remained entirely unbroken until this very moment of departure. The quiet realization that these children will no longer be waiting in the next room is a heavy truth that is currently settling over one of the most famous households in America. It sets a dramatic atmosphere of anticipation, leaving audiences wondering how a woman who has conquered every stage in the world will conquer the quiet space of an empty home. The stage is set, the diplomas have been handed out, and the music is playing softly in the background as a mother stands at the crossroads of her greatest achievement and her deepest vulnerability. The curtain pulls back further to reveal the intricate tapestry of this double graduation milestone, showcasing a sequence of events that highlights both individual growth and a mother's profound emotional attachment. At 56 years old, Jennifer Lopez is navigating a defining chapter of her personal life, and the recent public sharing of her intimate family photo series on Instagram serves as a deeply personal dispatch to her millions of followers. The on-the-floor hitmaker has never been one to shy away from grand expressions of emotion, but this specific collection of images focuses entirely on the sanctuary she built away from the stage with her 18-year-old twins Max and Oskar. The images document a series of milestone ceremonies that took place earlier this month, culminating in an emotional gathering on the sprawling campus of the University of California, Los Angeles. For Lopez, who shares the twins with her former husband and fellow music icon Mark Anthony, the graduation season became a vivid reminder of how quickly the years evaporate, transforming small children into young adults ready to pave their own paths. One of the most striking photographs captured in this digital diary shows a powerful, tender moment between Jennifer and her son Max, freezing a split second of pure maternal warmth amidst the chaotic energy of the graduation crowds. The two are seen embracing tightly, wearing gentle, knowing smiles that speak volumes about their shared journey and the quiet strength of their family unit. In stark contrast to the massive stadium performances and red carpet spectacles that usually define her public life, this image radiates an entirely different kind of star power, rooted in the fierce, protective love of a mother celebrating her child's academic achievement. The pride is palpable, etched into the lines of her expression as she holds onto her son, fully aware that this moment represents both a magnificent beginning for him and a bittersweet conclusion for her. Meanwhile, another poignant snapshot in the series shifts the focus to Oskar, who stands proudly in front of a celebratory Class of 2026 sign, his face illuminated by a cheerful, triumphant smile that captures the essence of youth on the precipice of the future. Oskar is pictured wearing a traditional dark navy graduation robe, a garment that symbolizes years of dedication, while his graduation cap rests thoughtfully on the ground nearby. This detail offers a glimpse into a separate, earlier ceremony dedicated entirely to Oskar's achievements, illustrating that this momentous month required the family to show up for multiple distinct celebrations. To provide her audience with an even closer look at the intricate details of these landmark events, Lopez included a close-up photograph of one of the graduation caps, which had been meticulously customized to reflect a unique personal flair. The top of the cap was completely decked out in shimmering gold materials, catching the light and spelling out the playful yet resilient phrase, "Not my last rodeo," a statement that underscores the family's enduring spirit and their readiness to take on whatever challenges the next chapter of life might present. Interspersed between these formal academic milestones, the Instagram carousel offered a fascinating, unvarnished look into the singer's daily domestic life during this emotionally turbulent month, grounding the larger-than-life icon in relatable human moments. A casual selfie included in the series shows Jennifer resting comfortably on a plush sofa, wearing a simple striped shirt paired with an elegant gold chain necklace, proving that even during moments of profound emotional processing, her signature sense of style remains intact. Her makeup for the day was flawlessly glammed, featuring structured layers of mascara that elongated her lashes, a sultry smoky shadow carefully blended around her eyes, and a warm blush sweeping across her cheekbones to create a radiant, healthy glow. A nude-colored, glossy tint adorned her lips, completing a look that managed to be both deeply sophisticated and entirely effortless as she paused to document her personal downtime. Another slide in the collection shifted the environment to a cozy bedroom setting, capturing the world-famous star lounging comfortably on a bed while wrapped in a pristine white robe, completely content as she nibbled on a rich chocolate bar. This indulgence was followed by an even more lighthearted image where Lopez is seen holding a massive, extra-large croissant, flashing a brilliant, genuine smile before taking a large bite out of the flaky pastry. These glimpses of pure comfort food and relaxed domesticity serve as a vital counterweight to the intense emotional gravity of the graduation ceremonies, showing a woman finding solace in the simple pleasures of home. The celebration of achievements extended beyond the academic realm as well, with Jennifer using the digital platform to toast the massive commercial success of her brand new Netflix film titled Office Romance, tying her professional triumphs to her personal milestones. The photo series featured a plate of beautifully decorated cupcakes covered in smooth white frosting, each adorned with celebratory custom details, including the phrases "one movie" and "air cruise," the latter being a direct nod to the fictional airline featured prominently within the romantic comedy. Other snapshots scattered throughout the carousel painted a vivid picture of her artistic lifestyle, including a portrait of her standing confidently in front of an intricate artist sticker, and a more avant-garde shot of the actress lounging gracefully next to an ornate bathtub. The entire visual journey concluded with a slide containing a poignant philosophical message that read, "Beautiful means be you to the full," a mantra that seems to define her current state of mind and her approach to self-actualization. In the caption accompanying this extensive photo series, Lopez penned a short but incredibly telling message to her global audience, writing that people often tell her how lucky she is, an assessment she does not disagree with, before concluding with the evocative phrase, "just this feeling." This sentiment ties directly back to her recent candid admissions about the profound difficulty of watching her children prepare for college, an experience that is forcing her to confront the reality of becoming an empty nester within her sprawling mansion. The emotional weight of this transition is amplified by the sheer scale of her primary residence, an absolute architectural masterpiece hidden away in one of California's most exclusive enclaves. The $18 million Hidden Hills estate, with its massive square footage, manicured grounds, and empty hallways, is poised to become a quiet monument to a completed era of parenting. A physical space that will soon echo with the absence of the two teenagers who have defined its energy for years. During a highly publicized television appearance on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, Jennifer laid bare her soul regarding this impending domestic silence, admitting to the host and the audience that it is an extraordinarily emotional time for her. She reflected deeply on the unique dynamic of her household, stating with absolute clarity that for nearly 2 decades, it has been fundamentally the three of us against the world, an unbreakable triad that remained constant through every storm. She noted that while various people have come in and out of her life over the years, the core bond between herself, Max, and Oskar remained the single immovable anchor of her existence, a source of unconditional love and stability that never wavered. The singer continued her emotional reflection by confessing a profound sense of shock at how quickly this day arrived, admitting that she simply never truly believed they would one day not be there under her roof, having never allowed her mind to project that far ahead into the future. This theme of overwhelming emotion was echoed during a separate media appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, back in May, where the pop star openly admitted to being a complete emotional wreck for a full 2 months leading up to the actual graduation dates. She revealed to the late-night host that the mere mention of the milestone was enough to trigger immediate tears, describing how the intense process of trying to compose heartfelt yearbook messages for her children took her 2 full days to complete because the tears simply would not stop falling. This raw vulnerability stands in sharp contrast to her relentless work ethic, as she has simultaneously been keeping incredibly busy by dropping a brand new musical collaboration with the acclaimed Brazilian musician Alok. The track, aptly titled Everything's Fine, was officially unleashed to the public on Friday in 2 distinctly mixed versions labeled as AM and PM, giving fans a dual auditory experience that many believe mirrors her own fractured emotional state. The poignant lyrics of the new song have left her global fanbase deeply worried, as they feature the songstress singing openly about feeling weird and numb in the wake of her high-profile divorce from Ben Affleck. While the track includes verses where Lopez insists she is deeply grateful for the immense blessings in her life, other lines heavily hint at a self-imposed isolation, with her singing that the sun still shines, but she chooses to stay inside, concluding with the devastatingly honest admission that she does not feel bad, she just does not feel right. The final chapter of this profound family milestone unfolds with a deeper exploration of identity, legacy, and the unstoppable journey of 2 young individuals stepping out from the massive shadow of global celebrity to claim their own distinct futures. To fully understand the emotional depth of the graduation ceremonies that took place on the sun-drenched campus of UCLA, one must look at the intricate tapestry of the family's history and the incredible path these 18-year-old twins have traveled alongside their devoted mother. For Jennifer Lopez, this entire experience has been a masterclass in learning how to let go. Watching the 2 people who have been the center of her universe for nearly 2 decades transform into independent adults with their own unique voices and destinies. A crucial and deeply meaningful element of this transformation became public through official announcements associated with the graduation season, shedding light on the personal evolution of her child, formerly known to the world as Emmy. The public record revealed that this child has embraced a profound personal evolution, now carrying the name Oskar Muniz and choosing the pronouns he and him, a milestone of self-actualization that adds a layer of beautiful authenticity to his high school graduation. This revelation adds immense context to the proud, cheerful smile Oskar displayed in front of the class of 2026 sign, symbolizing not just the completion of an academic journey, but the triumphant realization of his true self. Jennifer's unwavering support for Oskar's journey has been a testament to her maternal philosophy, which she summarized perfectly in her social media post with the beautiful phrase stating that to be truly beautiful means to be yourself to the absolute fullest extent. The bond within this tight-knit trio was on full display during the main graduation event at UCLA, where Max was surrounded by an ironclad circle of love that included not only his mother, but also his doting grandparents and his twin brother Oskar, who had celebrated his own ceremony at an earlier date. This powerful family gathering showcased a unified front, proving that despite the complex dynamics of a life lived entirely in the public eye, the foundational love of this family remains completely unshaken. It was an exceptionally emotional day for Lopez, who was visible to onlookers as she navigated waves of intense feeling, openly weeping as she watched Max walk across the stage to receive his diploma under the California sun. The sight of her children achieving their goals serves as a powerful reminder of the passage of time, especially for a mother who remembers pushing these same children in strollers through the busy streets of New York City just a few short years ago. The contrast between those quiet past family strolls in Manhattan and the grand scale of a university graduation highlights the bittersweet nature of parenthood, where every step forward for the child is a step away from the nest for the mother. As Max and Oskar prepare to embark on their college journeys, the reality of an empty house is settling heavily over the majestic $18 million Hidden Hills estate that has served as their sanctuary. This massive mansion, which once echoed with the vibrant energy, laughter, and daily routines of two growing teenagers, will now stand as a quiet monument to a completed era of active parenting. The transition into an empty nester is a universal heartache that binds Jennifer Lopez to millions of parents around the world, proving that no amount of international fame, platinum records, or box office success can dilute the raw emotional impact of watching your children grow up and move out. The silence of the house is further amplified by the creative and personal crossroads that Jennifer currently finds herself navigating, as she processes not only the departure of her twins, but also the aftermath of her high-profile divorce from Ben Affleck. This heavy emotional landscape is directly influencing her artistic output, as evidenced by her brand-new musical collaboration with Brazilian producer Alok on the deeply introspective track titled Everything's Fine. The duality of the song's two versions, labeled AM and PM, acts as a perfect sonic metaphor for the complex emotional shifts she experiences throughout the day, moving from outward gratitude to inward reflection. Fans have expressed deep concern over the haunting lyrics, where the pop icon sings openly about feeling strange, disconnected, and numb, suggesting that she has sought solace in a degree of isolation within her home while the outside world continues to spin. The lines about staying inside while the sun shines bright resonate deeply with anyone who has ever needed to retreat from the world to heal, process, and reinvent themselves during times of immense personal upheaval. Yet, true to her resilient nature, the superstar refuses to let the weight of these changes pull her under, balancing her emotional introspection with moments of lighthearted joy and professional triumph. The inclusion of sugary cupcakes celebrating her smash-hit Netflix movie Office Romance, alongside images of her indulging in massive croissants and chocolate bars, shows a woman intentionally choosing to savor the sweet rewards of life amidst the tears. She is actively teaching her children and her global audience that it is entirely possible to feel profound sadness for what is ending while simultaneously holding immense gratitude for what is beginning. This double graduation marks the definitive end of an 18-year chapter that Jennifer describes as the most sacred of her life, a period where it was fundamentally the three of them against the world, an unbreakable unit that outlasted every headline, relationship, and career shift. As Max and Oskar step boldly into the world of higher education and individual adulthood, they carry with them the fierce love, protective guidance, and resilient spirit of a mother who gave them everything. The customized graduation cap with the golden lettering reading, "Not My Last Rodeo," serves as the ultimate symbol for the entire family's mindset as they face this massive horizon. It is a bold statement of defiance and hope, signaling to the world that while this specific beautiful chapter of childhood has come to a formal close, the grand adventure of their lives is truly just beginning. Jennifer Lopez stands today not just as a global entertainment powerhouse, but as a triumphant mother who has successfully guided her twins through the gauntlet of youth into the dawn of their own independence. The quiet rooms of her Hidden Hills mansion may mark the end of an era, but they also represent the fertile ground from which the next great chapter of her life and her children's lives will inevitably grow.